In this lesson, we'll begin by understanding why many professionals struggle to truly master Power BI. We'll discuss common challenges like transitioning from Excel thinking to data modeling and dealing with limited problem solution resources online and keeping up with frequent updates, and how focusing on key fundamentals can solve most real-world problems. Okay, thank you guys. Let's start. My name is Ali Nurani. I will be your trainer for next 2 days. It's a Power BI advanced course. Okay. Now, some of the common challenges that people face when it comes to mastering Power BI. Knowledge gaps. As James comes from an experience of SQL Server, not everyone has that kind of an IT background. Most of the people actually comes from a business background, the commercial side, the financial side, and the supply chain and the procurement. A lot of these are your business people, operations people, and they don't understand things like database design, database architecture. They don't have that kind of a vocabulary toolkit. So, so that is, I believe, number one challenge that I myself faced. When I say business people, I mean people who have Excel skill set, right? A lot of what we think is in terms of a flat file. And when we think in terms of the flat file, we don't understand something very important, which is data modeling. How do you connect? I think that's where the first challenge comes from, especially people who come from an Excel background. Everything for us is a single big flat file. So yeah, that's I think challenge number one. Challenge number two is content on the internet. If you want to learn about Power BI, you can find on-demand courses. But if you're struggling with a very specific problem and you want to solve it, you can't, it's not very easy to find a specific blog that will solve a problem. You might have to go through like multiple blogs to get a sense of how it gets solved, and then you combine that knowledge together to solve it. In Excel, you actually have a specific solution to the problems because it has been in the existence for such a long time. Comparatively, Power BI is a much new tool in the market. So you don't have that rich and deep content around problems and solutions. So that can be a bit of a problem. And then overwhelming updates. It keeps on changing all the time. Every month, Power BI will release an update, which is a double-edged sword because it it improves very quickly, but it can become a problem to just keep track of what is coming in, what is coming out. If you use Power BI after a 6 months break, it almost feels unrecognizable because your interface changes, your names of the option changes, they introduce new option, they change the name of the option. So it can be a challenge to just keep on track with it, even for someone like myself who is using Power BI quite extensively in terms of training and in terms of even consulting. Even within the training, I would find an option that was not there before, or I would see the name of the option has changed, and it just becomes an ongoing process to just be on top of it. So these are some of the common challenges when it comes to mastering Power BI, not learning. So, but learning is an essentials, it allows you to create your first basic report. But when it comes to going to the next level, these are some of the challenges that you will face. What is the solution? So Pareto, 20% of the stuff within Power BI will allow you to do 80% of the work. 20% of the concepts, 20% of the functions, 20% of the fundamentals that you should understand how to work within Power BI will allow you to solve 80% of the problems. And then for the rest of the 20%, it will come through, experience, solving specific problems, your Google, ChatGPT. So that was really the focus on creating this course. What are some of the common challenges? What are some of the common frequent things that you actually do within Power BI? And how do you solve it? How do you think about this? And once you actually get a good hold of the fundamentals, then you can that then it allows you to do majority of the work, and then rest of the 20% of the stuff that will just come through experience and having the conversations and Google and ChatGPT and whatnot. So that is really the solution. We will focus a lot on the common denominators multiple across multiple projects. So when you learn these things, you can reapply these skills again and again. These are some of the common challenges that you are going to face within Power BI. And my personal objective would be to make your, really time worthwhile. And if I can solve some of the specific problems that you have in your mind, just like Kushal shared something, that will, that will really be my goal. If I can solve something specific that you can go, if I can apply quickly, to make your time worthwhile. That will be my objective, and then really repeat some of the things again and again, so it kind of makes sense to you, especially people who come from an Excel background. This might be a new way of thinking about few things when it comes to data analysis.